Czech Republic. A tragic incident unfolded at a Prague university when a 24-year-old Czech student carried out a mass shooting, resulting in the death of more than 15 people and leaving at least 24 others wounded on Thursday. The police chief revealed that authorities had received information earlier in the day indicating the man's intent to travel from his town in the Kladno region to Prague with plans of self-harm. Subsequently, the shooter's father was discovered dead. While police evacuated a Charles University Faculty of Arts building where the shooter was expected, they were swiftly called to a different building within the faculty when reports of the shooting surfaced. The assailant's demise is under investigation, with suicide and the possibility of being killed by a police bullet being considered by authorities. France. A French court of appeals on Thursday upheld the guilty verdict against a 33-year-old Chilean man, Nicolas Zepeda, for the 2016 murder of his Japanese ex-girlfriend, Narumi Kurosaki. The court confirmed the earlier 28-year prison sentence issued in the lower court last year. Despite the prosecution's request for a life sentence and expulsion from French territory after serving the term, Zepeda, who maintained his innocence throughout the trial, will serve the 28-year sentence. The case drew national attention in France, Chile, and Japan, as Kurosaki's body was never found. California. Southern California faced severe weather disruptions as a Pacific storm unleashed heavy rain, leading to street flooding during the holiday travel period. Coastal Ventura and Santa Barbara counties, particularly areas in Port Hueneme, Oxnard, and Santa Barbara, experienced significant downpours. Flash flooding occurred in Ventura County, with rainfall rates exceeding 3 inches per hour. In response, the city of Port Hueneme issued evacuation orders for specific streets, affecting around 60 houses in a senior citizen community. An evacuation center was established in a college gymnasium to assist those impacted by the severe weather conditions. A Vermont man with a history of mental health issues, convicted of killing his wife with a meat cleaver and injuring his mother-in-law, is sentenced to a minimum of 27 years in prison. Aida Gurung claimed it was an accident, citing impaired mental function during his 2-day sentencing hearing. The attacks occurred in 2017, and although charges were initially dropped in 2019 due to legal insanity, they were later refiled by the Attorney General, emphasizing the need for a jury to decide on the issue of insanity to restore public trust. Suriname. Suriname's former dictator, Desi Bouterse, was sentenced on Wednesday to 20 years in prison for the murders of 15 opponents during the December 1982 military regime, concluding a historic 16-year legal process. Despite previous appeals, the court upheld the conviction, and the latest sentencing is considered final. Given Bouterse's age and the time of the killings, the judge handed down the maximum sentence of 20 years. Victims' relatives' lawyer, Hugo Est, expressed satisfaction, stating that the verdict signifies the presence of an independent constitutional state in Suriname. Bouterse and his co-suspects were not present for the sentencing. Nicaragua detained another Catholic bishop on Wednesday, marking the second such arrest in an ongoing crackdown. Bishop Isidro Mora of the Triangulo Minero Diocese, situated on the country's northern Caribbean coast, was arrested for allegedly praying for his fellow detained bishop, Rolando Alvarez. Over recent years, President Daniel Ortega has targeted Catholic institutions and leaders, accusing them of undermining his government. Rolando Alvarez, a prominent Ortega critic, was sentenced to 26 years in prison earlier this year. The strained relationship between Nicaragua's government and the Vatican worsened after Pope Francis criticized Ortega's regime, leading to formal ties being severed. Burkina Faso. 4 French IT workers with diplomatic passports and visas were arrested in Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou, according to a French diplomatic source on Wednesday. The source denied media reports suggesting they were intelligence agents. Relations between Burkina Faso's junta and former colonizer France have deteriorated, leading to the expulsion of diplomatic officials and the suspension of some French media. The French source stated that the workers came for IT maintenance at the French embassy, while a media report claimed they were agents of France's external intelligence agency DGSE. The French government denies accusations and calls for the technicians' immediate return to France. The Burkinabe government has not responded to requests for comment. The military authorities in Burkina Faso came to power after 2 coups last year, straining France's historical ties with the region. Jeune Afrique magazine, suspended by the junta in September, previously reported on tension within Burkina Faso's armed forces. Algeria. A bus crash on Wednesday night claimed the lives of 2 members of Algerian League One side Mouloudia El Beya, leading the National Football Federation to postpone all scheduled games for the week across all divisions. The Algerian state news agency reported that the accident resulted in the deaths of El Beya goalkeeper Zakaria Bouziani, 27, and assistant coach Khalid Mufta. Bouziani, a backup goalkeeper, had participated in 2 league matches this season. The team's bus overturned in the town of Sogar in northwestern Algeria while heading to Tizi Ouzou for a league game against JSK Kabylie on Friday, according to local media. The club, via Facebook, confirmed that other injured team members were in stable condition. China. A coal mine accident in China's northeastern province of Heilongjiang claimed the lives of 12 individuals, with an additional 13 sustaining injuries, according to state broadcaster CCTV on Thursday. The incident occurred on Wednesday at the Kunyuan coal mine in the city of Jishi, and investigations into its cause are still underway, as reported by the broadcaster. Despite government initiatives to enhance safety enforcement, China's coal mining sector has experienced a series of notable accidents throughout the year. Russia. In Russia, a court on Thursday handed down a 12-year jail sentence to former minister Mikhail Abizov, convicting him of fraud and the organization of a criminal group, as reported by state-run news agencies. The investigative committee asserted that Abizov had orchestrated a criminal group, collaborating with others to misappropriate 4 billion rubles, $43.36 million, from 2 energy companies supplying electricity to the Novosibirsk region in Siberia. Abizov, a former executive in the electrical power sector, refuted the accusations. The alleged offences occurred between April 2011 and November 2014, during which the purported embezzled funds were transferred out of the country, as stated by the investigative committee earlier. New Zealand. New Zealand's recently inaugurated Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, expressed his intention to explore the advantages of participating in a segment of the AUKUS Defence Pact, emphasising shared military technology in the face of a more challenging global landscape. During his initial official trip abroad to Australia since assuming office last month, Luxon highlighted the importance of the AUKUS Weapons Development and Procurement Initiative, a collaboration between the US, Britain, and Australia, to ensure peace and stability in the Pacific region. Although New Zealand is not currently a party to the Trilateral Pact, Luxon affirmed the country's non-negotiable nuclear-free stance. While the US has indicated openness to New Zealand's engagement with AUKUS, Luxon stressed the significance of maintaining this foundational position. Emphasising close security ties with Australia as New Zealand's sole formal defence ally, Luxon, a former airline executive, underscored the need for collaboration in navigating an increasingly complex global environment. He highlighted the commitment to working together with Pacific Island nations, reinforcing regional partnerships. Anthony Albanese, the Australian Prime Minister, expressed his long-standing working relationship with Luxon and affirmed Australia's dedication to strengthening trade, economic ties, and collaborative efforts with New Zealand to address shared challenges, including climate change.